Hello! Right, we're back again for another test, and today I've got yet another soup pot to try, and yeah, this is another one from John up in London, and it's a bit of an unusual one. And no, I'm not going crazy. This is a chocolate Bhut crossed with a Scorpion Morouga. This is an F2, and yeah, as you've probably noticed, it's yellow. So yeah, what John's actually been finding is that crossing brown and red pods quite often produces yellow variants like this one, and yeah, he seems to think that sometimes they have reduced placenta as well. So we'll have a look inside, see what it does. Still a fairly decent sized pod, and being a yellow, mostly the yellows seem to get me pretty hard because they've got a pretty in your face instant burn. But we'll cut it open, see what's inside. Again, nice fruity smell from the top. Again, I'm going to be taking just a few seeds out, but these aren't for me, these aren't for distributing. They're again for John. He's requested a few seeds because he's not actually got many of these pods. And yeah, indeed, we do have reduced placenta inside. Ooh. It's got that typical yellow kind of soup pot smell, a little bit fruity. Yeah, I suppose I'd liken it to the likes of the Yellow 7. It's got that sort of slightly pineapple-y sort of smell. And yeah, there you go. Inside, as you can see, one side, no real placentas at all. There's some on the other side, but you know, that's not to say that this is going to be a mild pod. There's the other one there, because actually on the walls of the pod it's completely loaded, and I mean loaded, with capsaicin. So I'm just going to scrape a few of these seeds out. There's not actually that many seeds inside the pod, so a little bit tricky to get them out from behind the placenta. Yeah, that's that one, and yeah, completely. There you go. I just scraped some onto the tip of the knife, so you can see what I mean. Right on the very tip of that knife. Don't know if you can see it, but that is a fairly substantial layer of capsaicin oil. So yeah, I would say, even though there's not a whole lot of placenta inside this pod, it's got some oils in it, and potentially this is going to be probably a lot hotter than I'm expecting. Although I am now learning with the yellows to never underestimate them, because they look so innocent, but actually in reality they're pretty brutally hot. So yeah, right, that's enough messing around with seeds. Got a few seeds out of that for John, and yeah, let's get it down. So this is the yellow chocolate Bhut cross Morouga. Cheers! Quite a big pop. Biting right into the back of the throat. Flavour's pretty decent. It's kind of, it swings from really sweet and fruity to being pretty bitter as well, which is a little bit odd. Kept changing between the two, couldn't decide. Hiccup's going to come on any second. Ugh. And pretty instant whack back into the throat when I swallowed it. But actually the bulk of the heat is starting to build in the mouth on top of the tongue. yeah, it left a really really nice flavour. I would have to liken it to the Yellow 7 for sure. Got that slightly pineapple-y sort of flavour. Not strong pineapple, but just a hint of it. And yeah, left a definite kind of sweetness in the mouth. But the heat as expected is, yeah, it's pretty hot. Chocolate Bhut crossed with the Morouga, what do you expect, you know, two pretty hot pods already, and crossed together, you get this. The heat is actually moving back into the throat, but it's also spreading forward and actually underneath my tongue. It's really painful. My lips are going off. Yeah, into the throat. Tiny bit, not very strong, but a tiny bit of a hot cold going back there. But all the way along, unlike some of the other supers, it's actually left that pleasant flavour in my mouth. It's possibly starting just to dull off a little bit now, but as I swallow back, as well as swallowing back lava, I'm actually getting that nice kind of fruity taste coming through. And yeah, altogether quite a pleasant one. Pretty much about as hot as I was expecting. I think it's up there with kind of Yellow 7 heat. It's got a deeper burn than the yellow 7 pot lava I had the other day. That was powerful, but quite superficial. It was more stingy and it wasn't really a deep burn, whereas this is a bit more of a deep throbbing burn. And yeah, still underneath the tongue and my gums and my lips really throbbing away. As you can see, I've still got the hiccups. I have actually got tears in my eyes, but I'll have to live with them because I didn't bring much tissue out with me. Now it's starting to produce heaps of drool in the mouth. And yeah, I don't think it's actually getting any worse. I think the worst is over now. It's just kind of cruised to a good level. So I was just looking behind the camera then. There's some of my Jamaican hot cross peppers have turned red in the last few days. I hadn't actually noticed that. Yeah, awesome. Not too much more to say about that one really. Great flavour, pretty solid burn. The burn's going to cruise on again for quite a while, I think. But it's just kind of plateaued and settled down now a bit. I think the hiccups have gone, although we might have one or two more. And yeah, time to go and grab a glass of milk and settle the stomach down, I think. Just about kind of feel it down to about here now. Not too bad, not really ripping me up, but probably that was hot enough just to cause a bit of discomfort. So yeah, awesome. Well, that was the yellow Choc Bhut cross Morouga, which yeah, a bit of an unusual one and really good flavour and pretty decent amount of heat as well. So yeah, nice one, John. Thanks very much for another pod, and yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you again very soon. Cheers.